What is up, you guys? I have got so many camera bags for us to look at today. I have got camera bags all over this place. I have been collecting them for a while to do like kind of like not a death match, because with camera bags, everybody needs something a little bit different. So what I really wanted to do was show you a bunch of camera bags from a handful of different styles so you can see them all right next to each other and decide which one you need so you can stop worrying about what fucking bag to get. You can get out there and start taking your damn pictures. So we're gonna be looking at bags for daily carry, like stuff that you need. You wanna have like a small little kit of your camera stuff, and then you can fit your laptop and maybe, I don't know, just other daily sundries. We're also gonna be looking at like full, like I need all my camera gear in one backpack and I don't want it to look too weird. And then we're also gonna talk about and show you some travel bags so you can have like a pretty good little kit of your camera stuff and you've got more room for travel, okay? I feel like I'm just trying to make you excited about this so you'll watch through some of it. The truth is, if you need a camera bag, like, welcome. We're gonna look at a bunch of them and then you can decide which you like best. Now here's the deal. The camera bags are constantly being updated. They're constantly gonna be more. This is my first kind of foray into camera bags and I'm learning a lot from you guys, what you really want, because I'm not a professional camera guy. I take around. This is the Metromonger Sling from Green Room 136. I'll put a link to this in the description. This is what I take around with me all the time when I'm out and about. And all I take is my little Fuji X100T, which has literally changed my life. Okay, now a lot of you have the DSLR or you're like videographers or you need like a bunch of gear. So we're gonna get into a lot of that. I just wanna say, I don't know, I don't really wanna say this. I'm just kind of confessing that like I started taking picture cameras with this. I don't even pull it into Lightroom anywhere. I just literally sync through the Wi-Fi JPEGs. I don't even take RAWs anymore. JPEGs with one of their film things in here from Fuji straight to my photo. iPhone, iOS photos, like I just heart my favorites, almost no editing at all. I mean, life has gotten so much simpler. Okay, but that's neither here nor there. This Metromonger Sling is awesome for a daily thing. I like this guy, as well as the Peak Slings. I will put a link to both of those videos that I did in the description below at this time code. And you are going to see a lot of bags today, and all those links will be at the description below in the time code. And as I was saying, all these bags are gonna be updated, and I'm gonna be introduced to a lot of new bags through you guys as I reach out to companies and get them to send me more so I can show them to you live on tape here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have a page over at my website. You'll find a link below, and that's just gonna kind of like rate my favorite of these camera bags, and you can kind of keep in touch. I'm also gonna have a YouTube playlist that I'll just be adding to when I do new camera bags, okay? All right, I'm ready to do it. Let's get started. Okay, so the first category we're gonna get into are what I call the daily mixed bags, all right? Where you need a little camera cube or a little camera setup, but then you want some space to carry a lot of other things. What are important about these kind of bags? For me, I always think of the style of the bag. I think of how it looks. So style and aesthetics is important for when you're talking about daily carry stuff. What's also important is that your camera gear is protected from, you know, the weather stuff, the bumps and bruises and stuff like that. You wanna feel like your camera gear is protected. A lot of us are gonna need to have space inside for our laptop. And then finally, it needs to be relatively comfortable. I mean, this isn't like your big travel bag where you need to carry a bunch of stuff, but on these daily mixed photo bags where I'm like, I've got my camera cube and I want a sweater and a water bottle and like a handful of other things I just need on my daily. Like I like to be able to have a camera bag that you can just throw your camera in and you don't really need anything else. Okay, so this is the Gud Rolltop DSLR, right? It comes in around 170 bucks at the time of making this. And here's the deal. You got a little cover on the front, little tiny pocket on the front. Then you've got your camera cube access right here, which I find is pretty nice. You open that up, you've got this nice bright yellow camera cube. One of the things I've noticed is these camera cubes, they all feel different. They all integrate into the bag a little differently. Some are very firm and like really like nicely pushed into there. And some are a little floppy and they leave a little bit to be desired. I actually really like the way that this one works. For a lot of us, for like a kick around bag, I like this because it still has that urban street aesthetic. Okay, so you've just got a camera cube this big. You cannot put a larger camera cube in here, I don't believe. This thing integrates into this thing really well. There's just like, does it even just, there's Velcro down at the bottom. that's it. But it just, because there's a separator right here above the bag, so everything actually sits on top of that separator. This really feels like its own compartment, so it doesn't flop around or anything like that. I really like that. Thank you, Good. By the way, I don't know if it's good or good, but I like talking to my buddy Igor over at Good. So inside of here, there is that separator. I mean, you're not gonna be able to see it because it's just pitch black in here. There's that separator that's connected by Velcro, and it goes all the way around the top of your camera cube. So keeps your gear up off of your camera, meaning it keeps like whatever you throw into here a little bit segmented and separated from your camera cube. So like I said, you got a little pocket here. You've got the camera cube with a little pocket on here. You also obviously have all your spaces in here. You know, there's my Fuji X100T. Okay, so here's like my old Panasonic GH2, which I used to use for a lot of video stuff. Just to give you a sense, I mean, you know, hopefully you guys can get a feel for roughly how big this is. Sorry, I only have mirrorless Micro Four Thirds types things, so that's what you're dealing with right now. Okay, continuing on the pockets on this bag, there's another quick access right here, which is quite nice to like throw, you know, your stuff in. You can easily get your phone and your little throwables in there. 15-inch laptop compartment here on the back, okay? So your laptop's right up against your back. You got some decent padding on there. Not satisfactory padding on the bottom, so you want to be careful of, you know, not throwing this thing around. I wish that Good would put just definitely a bit more padding down there. Now, what I love about this bag actually is it is so low key. It's so like street and urban. It doesn't have this big padded crazy look, so that wouldn't keep me from using this bag. We also have this roll top thing going on here, which makes you capable of fitting so many things. Okay, so you can just like roll it up like there and strap it around, so you could fit a ton of crap. What's great about these roll tops is they have that street look, and like, so they don't like stand out. They look just kind of like regular, and they can roll out so you can fit a bunch of shit. So it's about a 25-liter bag, they say on their website, and our main material is 1000D Cordura, which I really like. It's not too bulky. It's not too like over-designed. It feels solid, and I am 5'10", 190 pounds. Here's the size of the bag on me. This is the Gud Rolltop DSLR. Find a link in the description below if it's your style of bag. Basically, for me, I like this for my kick-around bag. This is one of my favorites of all that we'll look at for like just a kick-around bag, because it just doesn't look techy. It doesn't look Elon Musky. I think this thing is really solid if you need a camera cube in a basic-ass bag. And you've got a couple of those quick access things, which is nice. Laptop, little knot padding on the bottom. Okay, now check this guy out. This is the Dalston. Is that right? Dalston from F-Stop. Interesting bag. Really, really light. Very lightweight. Using a very sort of water-resistant material here. The zippers on the outside right here on both sides have a water-resistant material. Both of those zippers are important. I'll show you them in a second. This is in eye-bleeding orange. It's a signature color of theirs that makes your bag just not be losable. I think my video camera's right now trying to understand what's happening, going like, what the fuck are you doing? What? Ah! All right, here's how this bag looks when it's on. Again, 5'10", 190 pounds. Very simple, lightweight bag. I really like this also for a kick-around bag. I would probably go with a different color just because this is, you know, orange is a very hard color for video stuff. I don't know if it's getting across how neon this thing is. Okay, check out our back straps here. They're just very thin, really nice. I think it's a really interesting use of these materials because they feel like they're gonna be comfortable enough. They got that neoprene as well as like a kind of a neoprene thing against the back. No ventilation back here. There was a little ventilation on this Gud pack, there was, right? So you got a little bit of ventilation back there for when you're riding your bike and stuff like that. I don't know if that's, some of you I know that matters a lot to you. Others, for me, for example, it doesn't really matter that much. You got your laptop compartment back here, okay? Which you can get your 15-inch MacBook Pro into. Nice. And our padding here is, it does go all the way down. It's protected on all 4 sides of the edges there. Nice, really minimal F-Stop branding, one right there, and just like this little black on black thing right here. Kind of a nice look, you know? Okay, so we have the roll top again, which I'll show you in a second. Then you have these 2 zippers down the outside on the sides, which I'll show you in a second. But first, perfect little pocket in here for your papers. Business papers, man. Now inside here, you do have, I like the way that they do this like side organization thing right here. There's two pouches that you access from the side. So the bag is standing upright like this. You slide it around like this, right? And now you've got access to right here on these things. While we're there, zipping that up, okay, what are these side pockets for? They are where the money happens, right? So you can see down here, you've got a camera cube, okay? And then like space on top of the camera cube for your basics and your essentials for the day. So that is the same on this side as well as this side. Now here's the deal. As you're accessing this thing, you can see where the zipper comes down in here. You've got some spaces at the bottom where on both sides where it's like you kind of want to put stuff there that you don't need all the time, which is great because in a camera cube, there's definitely stuff you don't need all the time. So my lens or extra batteries or things that I don't need all the time go down in there. Then I've got some good space up here to throw in, you know, a handful of camera bodies, battery chargers, whatever you might need for your shoot or for your just like rucking around town. Okay, and like I said, it's the same on the other side. So you just double that over here. You basically have, and there's a separator between them, right? So my camera, this mirrorless GH2 from Panasonic, it fits perfectly with definitely about an inch of space. It hits the middle thing, then it has another inch of space. Then when I zip that up, this stuff isn't falling out very easily. I think smaller batteries, like a little battery like this, could possibly, if you put it in there, let's try it out. Let's try it. I put it in the bottom one. Now I'm just gonna like shake it around and use it up, move it upside down, and just see like if we can get that thing out of there. And no, folks, it stayed in. I always like that about a camera cube. I hate it when my stuff actually is able to jump out from the like segment I put it in. I'm like, this is why I put you here. Okay, so it's interesting because I just think it's a really utilitarian, useful way of doing this. It doesn't add a big extra space on the bag. It just puts it right in the bag. You've got side access. Each side's a little different. You learn and figure out how you want to do your what you put in what sides. You've got totally water resistant zippers on these side things. That's the only water resistant zippers on here. So this one has a rain sort of flap. Your laptop is up against your back, so I guess that's why they didn't do that there. And then you have the roll top, okay? Click this open and open this sucker up. And now you've got quite a bit of space. There's buttons at the top. You can see those little black guys, the buttons at the top. Open them up, and then inside, you've got some room. In a lot of my videos, I've been showing you guys like this Peak Designs packing cube just to give you a sense of size here, right? So this is like a bundle full of clothes. This is basically all my clothes that I travel with sometimes. And it fits in there perfect. You give it a couple rolls and then you can latch this sucker. Let me just latch it up. Okay, so there we go. That's like a full packing cube with daily stuff. And now most of us obviously wouldn't like travel with a packing cube and then all this stuff. We'd probably have like a sweater and like a water bottle and maybe a sack lunch for a shoot in the park. Okay, so the Dalston, this one comes in at 149 bucks. And I think it's really solid for that price. Very lightweight. I like this material, very water resistant. Your stuff feels safe. You feel secure with it on, even though it's so lightweight. You also feel like you didn't spend a bunch of money on something, right? And it's like a really useful way to get around town and just have your shit with you. You might even love this orange so much. Okay, so link in the description below to this one at this time code. Okay, now check this out. This is the Boundary Supply Errant pack. Now, Errant is the heir apparent of the Boundary Supply Prima. It's like a smaller, dailier carrier bag than the Boundary Supply Prima, which I'll be showing you in a little bit. And it is currently still in like the Indiegogo phase. They did Kickstarter. It was a massive success. Now it's on Indiegogo as they're putting together all the orders. Now, the interesting about this bag is for the amount of features and the technical sort of capabilities and the materials and shit like that. On Indiegogo, still it's like 110 bucks, but and then they'll sell it for 150 afterwards, is what they're saying, which is still such an affordable price for all of the how quality this bag feels. So let me just walk you around this bag really quick. All right. So again, I am 5'10", 190 pounds. Okay, this is the Boundary Supply Errant. All right. Now, most of this bag is accessed through this back panel. You've got your laptop and stuff right here. Lovely laptop compartment. Lovely little organization and pouch on top of here with a, oh, look at that. It's a nice business papers, man. With a really hardcore magnet on the front. I did a whole review on this bag. I'll put a link to the description below for the whole review of this bag. So you've also got this awesome pocket right in here, which is right at the top of the bag as you're accessing it. Love that. What I've put in here is a camera cube from Boundary Supply that fits right in there. It's got Velcro up against there that allows it to stay in there. So what this does, now there's actually 2 camera cubes in here, okay? So you could have a full-on camera rig in this bag, but I think it's maybe a little bit better set up as like your ruck around bag. These packing cubes from Boundary Supply are definitely some of my favorite in terms of how they feel. Very robust. They all have a pocket up at the top. This is a nice like sort of angled padded thing that helps everything stay in there. These supports and the separators just feel really, really, really quality. The whole thing feels awesome. That's one of the things I noticed about Boundary Supply is the things feel good. They feel really good. Okay, so here's one of the camera cubes I have in here. You could easily fit a ton of stuff in here. This is as much as was in that Gud, front of that pack. Then there's another packing cube up here at the top of this guy, which has both the nipple clips, magnet nipple clips. How do they work? And a zipper. So you're like totally safe from the elements. And they make this camera cube just for this bag that sits right at the top. So you just have 3 like built-in things. You can move these guys around so you just have 2 or whatever. They're just like any other camera cube, but there's no top on this, right? So it's built for this so that you come down here, you could throw your nipple clips on, you're good to go. I would always just zip it up. I don't like the nipple clips that much. You zip it up, anytime you need to grab something, you unzip it. It's like, oh, there's my little camera, just right there, right? So you got all your stuff right there, and what's good about this is it's really rigid and like, I don't know, protected. This thing is very protected, and it goes in on a couple nipple clips just up there on the back. You can see those, and then you've got snap buttons in the front. So what's awesome about this bag is you could go like camera cube in like that, and then you have the top of the bag to throw some shit in, or you can go camera cube up top, and then you have the bottom of the bag to throw some shit in. You got a lot of shit options. I do love this bag. I do love what these guys are doing at Boundary Supply. I think they're making some of my favorite bags, to be frank. I mean, I typically don't like the really over-engineered techie bag, which is definitely what one of these things is. I wouldn't say it's over-engineered. To me, it feels over-engineered because I like regular-ass rucksacks. Like, I've worked with hundreds of bags at this point, and my style and aesthetic has only become more drawn to, like, this basic ass Kletterworks. This is the Kletterworks Summit. I fucking love this bag. But in the world of tech, where you have to bring a lot of stuff, you need a spot for every dongle. You might even need a shoe compartment for the gym, or like, you could probably pack this out with one of their cooler. They have a cooler pack that you fit like 4 IPAs in there and a little ice pack. Just a really great bag to use. It's like $100 on Kickstarter it was. So for those of you who backed it, you're gonna be so stoked. Because even if it's not your daily carry, which for most of you it will be, this thing is just like a delight to use. And as a camera bag, I'm digging it. So you've seen what it can do. 2 of these filled up, or one or the other of them. I like this as a daily ruck around. I think it's a kind of a sharp looking bag. So, Boundary Supply Errant, link in the description below. Yeah, buddy. Okay, the Peak. Let's get into some Peak design stuff, because Peak is obviously well known in this world. You can see this is like the Elon Musk 5000. This is like your their everyday messenger bag, 15-inch. So it fits your 15-inch laptop right in here. big old space for it, and separate little compartment for your business papers, man. I love Peak's materials. This is their Cordura, not Cordura, Cordura, and it's really water resistant. All the zips have a water resistant seal. This zip gets you like into the main compartment without having to use the mag latch, which is pretty dope. I like the mag latch. A lot of people complain about like it's too easy for a pickpocket to get into or something like that. Yeah, maybe. I mean, it like definitely is something you might have to worry about if you're in a real pickpockety place. But what's so amazing about this bag is you've got these dividers, right? This is basically what happens on all their bags. You have these trifold dividers, which you can turn things into like watch, I'll pop that down and now it's like a shelf. And so if that was right up against this wall over here, you could basically set this up to have dual layers of camera cube compartment space. Now I'm including this in sort of like, this could easily be like fill out the whole thing with your camera gear. I don't think it's too great for that because I oftentimes want to see my entire camera cube. I don't want to think vertically like this, like everything going in. I don't use a lot of long lenses. And so for me, throwing a camera in there, it's like, well, that's like the bottom layer. So what I tend to do with this is I would move this to one side and I would have camera stuff on just one side. The other side of the bag is totally for my daily carry stuff. Now on this guy, you have two side pockets, like great for water bottles, great for like a packing cube or something like that. And you can see this is their camera clipper, the gripper clipper, the clip gripper. This thing's wild, man. I love this thing. It just makes it so easy to you put this thing on the bottom of your camera, right? And then you just clip this guy in. I don't have the Allen wrench with me to tighten it up all the way. So you just clip this guy in however you want to, and now your camera, like it's on your bag and it's not coming off. You even have a lock here. You can lock that into place so it just can't go anywhere. So you can like hang your camera right off your bag. You get used to it. You can put it on your strap. You can put it right here, what this thing is made for on the side. And then when you need it, you unclip this guy. You'll get really fast at this. You unclip it and then you just pull it right out and you're good to go. Bam, 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 bam. Got the shot. It's called their like camera capture clipper. I'm spacing on the name. Okay, now there's a zipper pouch on the front. There's a ton of organization in here, right? So this thing is a really fun bag to use your daily carry because you've easily got all this organization. There's even pouches and pockets up on this thing. There's a pocket inside of here. Peak does an awesome job of being able to organize all your shit. And inside of each of these water bottle pockets are these like straps that allow you to clip your like your camera, your tripod can fit inside of here, or one of the legs can. Then you grab one of these straps and you go around it and you can lock things in. It makes it easy to strap on extra gear. And inside of each of those water bottle pockets is some straps that kind of like hide away, and you can use them as a kind of hip strap for like locking this thing in when you've got a heavy, I mean, it really like kind of almost makes it feel like it's like just on my hip, and you see how loose the strap is? Pretty great. Speaking of straps, this thing has one side got a little bit of tackiness to it, so it doesn't like float around in case you need that like on a shirt that's slippery. But the other side is what I would end up using most of the time because I don't really care if it slips because it's on my back, it's feeling comfortable. And if you ever need to, you just get a little strap-a-dappy going there. Hey. These guys think about just so much. I mean, from the PCU, I think this is just a PCU sealed like Cordura or something, or maybe it's still the Cordura on the bottom for tons of resistance, all of the water resistance stuff going on. This thing is made to last. Like these bags, I'm not crazy about the real like RoboCop look of these. Like I said, I always like a little more of a rustic vibe, but I know some of you out there are drooling over this because this is perfect for you. It's just perfect for so many people. So check out the link in the description below. All right, let's just keep the Peak train going. This isn't the last Peak bag. It's the second to last you'll see. This is their everyday backpack. All right, look how I like it in the black. Black's probably my favorite color on this. Very sleek. The black definitely keeps it from having that metallic RoboCop kind of vibe a little bit. You can see it's a little more slick, sleek, jetpacky. You've got that mag latch on the top, lots of safety and security in terms of water resistance, as long as when you close it, you pull in these sides with the bag kind of like, you can get it used to just doing that, which is great because then you've got that support all over. Laptop compartment here in the back, okay, where you can fit, we also have a quick access pocket, and then your laptop fits perfectly with a little divider for just an iPad. Water bottle pockets on either side. Inside of each of those, lots of straps that can flip over and clip around on all of these loops that are over here. So that way you can like grab a couple of those, place them around. Now your tripod's here, or you put one leg into here, or this is just like your jacket or something. Those accessory straps, I know for some of you make this a bag that you can use, like you can just count on, because no matter what you need to bring, you can even have them coming down. There's straps that come from this pocket. There's literally like, did you see that? Hidden straps, like it just gave birth to straps. You don't want that baby anymore? Just shove it right up there and forget about it. Just forget about it. Maybe it'll go away in time. And then you can pull those down again and clip them on the bottom. You've got your sleeping bag or your tripod. By the way, that is just the outside of the bag. We haven't even gotten inside the bag, right? So like I said, you got that mag latch and you can access things here on the top of the bag. But when I used this bag, all I ever used were these side pockets. You have one on either side and you get into it, and now you're seeing some of that Peak Design like magic. Here are those dividers again. They do the same thing where you can create like a little segment inside of it, right? So you got your camera here, and then you put this guy, and you can only access the camera now from this side, which is fine, because on the other side, because it's perfect right there, look at that. It's just right there. So I'd actually turn this around so my grip's on that side. Ba-ba-ding, ba-ba-dam, bam, boom. Then on this side, you could flip all these things up and just have like lenses on this side and your camera on this side. You could also have, when you flip all of the shelves up, you've basically got 3 compartments through the bag. But wait, there's more. See these 2 flaps? This is like a manta ray flying through my, I don't know, my daily carry wet dream. Inside of each of these flaps, you've got some more organization. Can you see that? I like this yellow inside, by the way. I just like this mustard. Lots of padding, lots of organization on that side, and this side's a little bit different. So you'll get used to like, okay, my packing, my SD cards are definitely in here. My other camera bits are in here, and over on that side is like just pens and other shit, right? So then you might want to have camera gear on this side and like regular stuff on the other side. I don't know. You know the deal. The thing is, all of these things are removable and totally customizable, right? This bag can carry however you want it to. As if you're a daily photographer, if you need to have, just to be able to do like, just throw your camera at the bottom of the bag with one of those things, and everything else on top is just your daily stuff. What a great bag to be able to do that with. I think you pay for it with the price, first of all, because it's not the cheapest bag on the list. I think also it's a very rigid and protected bag. Everything, this whole thing is a camera cube, right? The whole thing is protected, and that means it travels a little bit rigid. It just feels a little bit stiff on you, right? And when you're cruising around with it, some of you, that's a feature, and some of you, that's a bug. So you can see it's just like, it's like there's nothing to it in this black color. I just think it's so slick. It just looks like a regular backpack, even though it's got all these like fucking Tesla mission to Mars, put a backup drive of humanity on another planet. It's got all this futuristic tech stuff going on. Link in the description below. Okay, I got 2 more bags before we get into the full, like all the bag as a camera cube, and then the travel one. This is the Wandrd Prvke. It's called Provoke, but there's no letters, there's no vowels in it, so it's Prvke. Another one in all black, which I think looks really good. They have some fun colors on this thing, but this thing is like your adventure pack. I think this is a really good bag for being your adventure pack, and if you need a camera cube in it. Interesting thing about the camera cube is it has an integration right here into this side pocket. So I open that up and I'm boom, right into my camera. There it is. Boom, get the shot. Oh shit, got the shot. What's that? Don't drop that shot, motherfucker. Let's get to the party. Gonna take the shot. Gotta make it happen, and I'm not gonna not take the shot. What's up? So you've got the thing on. You swing it this way. What? Get the shot. You're falling from, the explosion in the background, and this thing's coming up, and you're just like, oh, boom, grab the lens. Click. Got the shot, motherfucker. Okay, that's a nice integration. Obviously, the Peak Design has that on both sides, depending on how you set it up. Same thing with the Dalston from f-stop. And what are the other ones? That's basically it in terms of quick access, one go, like, nice little feature. I'm gonna show you how the camera cube integrates here. I've done a huge review on this thing, so I'm gonna mostly just walk you around really quick. Your laptop compartment is through here. You do have these handles on the top, right? So you're gonna notice these whenever you, like, they're nice. I actually like holding these handles. They have a magnet that holds them together. Let me put it on for you here. The straps are nice and comfortable. The whole thing feels really well crafted. Again, 5'10", 190 pounds. Okay, just a regular looking ruckabout in black. It just looks like, you know, solid. So you'll have these handles on the top anytime you need to get into your, that's one thing I wish the handles could stay up there without needing to pull them apart every time I open up the back. But here's my laptop compartment and a little space for my business papers, man. Then this is your main compartment in here, right? One of them up top gets you into the top of the bag, right? You've got the top of the bag. There's a Velcro divider that is removable that sits right on top of this camera cube. Now, hold on, before I show you the camera cube, one of the things I dislike about this bag is that these things all feel very cheap. I don't like the liner in here. Everything in here feels very cheap, especially the way that this like folds, and it just feels thin and cheap. I wish they would have gone for a thicker material on their liner, Wandrd. That's a little piece of my feedback. I think that would make this whole thing feel a little more quality. All right, so then we're into our camera cube, which actually has Velcro straps that like kind of pull it down on one side, and then on this side, there's like a little open, there's like a place that you use Velcro again. Anyways, you'll see it when you get it. Now, this camera cube is very flimsy and cheap feeling to me. I really don't feel like my gear is very safe, which is okay. So if I had like expensive lenses, I'd probably want to wrap them in something. Then I'd be okay in putting them in here, because ultimately it's just not that thick of a camera cube. There's definitely some good padding on the outside, some decent padding on the outside, but it's all these separator bits that are like, they just don't feel very they don't feel very good to me. But because it's a packing, sort of like a travel bag kind of thing, it's meant to be all light. So for some of you, that's a feature. Others, a bug. Whew, buddy. Starting to wake up, starting to get those juices flowing. Let's get into it. Okay, so this Wandrd Prvke is an interesting bag, because it's really like, if you just need a little piece of kit, and you're okay, because they don't have a smaller camera cube than this one that fits inside of this. So that means if you're using the camera cube, you're using this whole thing. I would be great with a camera cube that just fit on that quick access side. That'd be sort of interesting. But for the most part, when I'm traveling, I'll be honest, not when I'm in transit traveling, but like when I'm out and about for the day, I've got this little rope tie thing, so I always just have it on. It's perfect size for bringing it up, just that street photo style, and then I've just got it thrown around my back, or it's thrown right into that Metromonger sling. That's my style, so I don't end up taking a backpack around when I'm like in family mode. I also don't love the amount of work it takes to like really open this up and get into it. It's not that much, but it is, because the zipper's like this. You know what I mean? Because it's all water sealed and it's just rough to open up and around. I get that a lot with Wandrd bags. Up here on the front, you've got a massive pocket. Bada bing, bada boom for your business papers. Then, of course, you've got this roll top thing, which is like, could fit so much stuff into here, okay? And it's all water sealed, because you're doing you've got this water resistant ballistic nylon, and then you're folding it over several times whenever you're closing. Huge little clip, which ends up working pretty well. I like this clip. This is good. Then there's a couple secret compartments or pockets. There's like this passport pocket on the back, a quick access up here, and then another little like key pocket back in here. So lots of external access for smaller things. You got a water bottle pocket that expands over here. It zips out and expands, does a decent job. You've got the camera access right here. Ultimately, I like how robust the outside of the bag is. It's once we start getting into the actually using the zippers and the inside of the bag that I always feel like, oh, this kind of sucks to use. But everything is protected, and it might be the best bag for the job for you. So you probably know who you are, because this has that like the right look, the right amount of protection and stuff like that. It's the kind of bag you could totally commit to for a long time. And you just get used to how the zippers work. Okay, so link in the description below to the Wandrd Prvke pack. Okay, one more for the ruckabout sort of mixed daily bag thing. This is from Boundary Supply again, their Prima system, okay? And I love this bag. For all the Kickstartery bags, all the Wandrds and the Nomadics and the Peaks and things like that, this is pretty much my favorite. Now, it's a very robust bag. It's very big. It's got a little heft to it. But it has like a, I don't know, I just think they really solve those problems that you need in an adventure camera-y bag, adventure daily camera-y bag in a pretty nice way, in a way that feels like it's gonna last a really long time. And I mean, the look is obviously techie. It's again, 5'10", 190 pounds. I'm gonna say that every single time because I get so many questions about it. So it's obviously got a little bit of a techie look, a little bit of a robust look. I've got these hip straps on right here. These come off. I don't know if you could see them. Sorry for how dark it is. Let's talk about our back straps here. These are really comfortable. They definitely have some rigidness to them, but you've got load-bearing straps. You've got tons of breathability and a very nice, like, this is a killer foam right here. And then this strap comes off if you want it to. Okay, back of the bag, we've got a water-sealed zipper on our laptop. Fit our 15-inch laptop just fine. They also have a little accessory that comes with the bag that's like, your like tech organizer thing, which fits in there as well. And so on the back of the bag, you have this very rigid, protected feel. And on the front of the bag, it can be kind of floppy, but it's double layer of this, I think it's Codra, or maybe it's just like it looks like it's about 1000D Cordura or something like that. And it feels nice and protective. It also feels just nice. Like it feels like a nice bag. It doesn't feel like something rigid and hard like the Wandrd stuff or the Vinta bag I'll show you in a little bit. Okay, so camera cube integration. There's a small camera cube in there. A lot of the people don't like the fact that it doesn't take up the whole size of the inside of the bag, so that it's like, it's less efficient. Like, what bullshit? I like it because to me, it's the perfect size for a camera kit that I need when I'm going out on the daily, right? Just as a daily carry, I need a camera kit. It's like perfect in here with just a bit of organization and like flappy dappy and protection, right? So it fits right inside here. And it integrates with this thing. So when I open up the outside, it opens up the inside. See, it's got these little buttons right here that do that. It's not like a perfect seal. Like, one of the things I wish is that when you opened it up, you didn't see anything else besides just this guy. But the truth is, that means you would lose out on this nice little RFID pocket back here to keep your credit cards and things safe from the French people. I don't know. We had things stolen in France once, and so now I'm pretty sure all French people steal things. I'm kidding, Arnaud and Pierre. You're fine. I'm joking. You know that Paris can just get a little funky. Okay, so the sucker clips in there really nicely, and it feels good, and you can access it nicely from the outside. I like this. My criticism of this bag is it is like a very just robust bag. It feels like, and it even, like if you just threw a sweater in here and you'd be like, well, it's the only bag I have, I'm just bringing my sweater and a water bottle. It's gonna feel like overkill. But for those of you guys who carry a lot of stuff with you, this is awesome. And I do love these magnet clips. How do they work? Quick access on the top of the bag. Perfect just for your like cell phone and keys. This little key clip in there. Water bottle pocket on this side of the bag, which expands out. You also have a little zipper thing right here, which gives you a nice little hidden pocket for your keys or something like that you just want to forget about. Then we've got like a slight roll top. So the Wandrd can fit more. I wish this had a bigger roll top, and they just went a little more funky with that because you could just fit more. As it is, you could still fit quite a bit, but then you have to be able to get this to curl over to get these guys to clip. So one of the things that's nice about this is you've got the zipper water sealed all the way down the front of the bag, and then you've got lots of good organization inside. You can see on this wing here, there's a little zippered guy inside of there. You can put things. Over here, you've got some mesh, which is like, you know, you ever feel like putting something in some mesh? You can do that. And then you can see the camera cube that's right here. Now, you can see on this side, I can actually fit my water bottle. So I like this. I normally would put my water bottle on the outside, but like your jacket, your sweater can just slide on that side of the camera. A lot of people are bummed that the camera cube doesn't go all the way. Well, here's the deal. Let me pull this camera cube out and show you what it does. So you undo the guys, you undo the buttons, and then it pulls out like this. One of the things that's great about this bag is it's got a couple pockets like on it, pouches inside and a pocket on the outside. Then it's got the zipper on the bottom, which can expand, which is, now when in its expansion, it does not have rigid padding all around here. The padding stops here. So the expansion is if you have like a long lens or something, it's not gonna be padded in there. It has a tiny bit of like, because the liner on the inside is this great, I think it's nylwool. It's a sort of like almost felt, this gray stuff here, which is awesome. So it does have a slight like, you know, slight comfort protection, but for the most part, this fills in the bag when you do it like that. But for the most part, like then we're talking too deep. It just goes way too deep. It's putting my butt to sleep. Now, one of the things that's interesting about that is this bag is usable, and they market it as such, as like you've got these straps that come with it that clip out of here, and now you can take this and put it over your shoulder. And when you're doing that, what's awesome about that is that maybe you need a little more space. You can do this. The bummer is that it just looks sort of looks lame, right? Just carrying around like a little pouch that has like a floppy gray bit at the bottom. Not a great look. But like I've shown you in the video that I did on this boundary supply, you can take that hip strap right off this bag, put it right through here, and then you've got a fanny pack, which makes you easily and immediately the coolest motherfucker in the room. Gotta be rocking those fanny packs, you guys. Get into it. It's the only way to be yourself. Choose a fanny pack that fits your style. I'm kidding, of course. I love my fanny pack. I have one from Trakke. In fact, if you go to bagworks.co/pouches, I have a list there of all my favorite pouches that go inside of bags for organizing my bag, packing cubes, like tech organizers and stuff like that, as well as a little section for fanny packs. Okay, so this boundary supply I really like as a bag. That said, I haven't really been choosing it as my daily carry. I take a smaller daily carry around. What I like this bag for a lot of you is a lot of you need a bag that does everything. This does a solid job of it. If you can just commit to, you know, the secret with these bags is, if you just find something that does enough for you, just commit to it and be done with it. And this is one of those bags that if you commit to it and just be done with it, you'll be satisfied for a long time. Now it does get a bit techie. Like the other way to go is you just grab a GoRuck like GR1 and you throw a camera cube into it, right? It doesn't have a camera integration. You can't like open a little pouch and get it going. It's a very simple bag, right? But you throw a little camera cube in here and you're gonna be stoked. Like for instance, here's this like boundary supply. You just put it right there at the bottom of the pack. And now you've got a camera bag out of the GR1, right? Which is a very killer bag to carry with. Check out my link in the description below for a review of this one. The point I'm making is just like, you don't have to use a camera bag for this daily mix around, ruck about kind of thing. You could just use a regular bag and grab the camera cube you like and throw it in there. Now that said, some of us want that integration, be able to flap it open, and a bag like this offers so many other interesting things. So let's get into the next category. Okay, so now I want to talk about bags that like the whole thing is just one huge camera thing. I only have a few in this category, but there's like the whole thing is just one big camera thing. Let's see. Let's start with this one. Oh wait, but Chase, you just did that one in the daily thing. Yeah, but not like this. I've got a different camera insert in the Boundary Supply Prima. What we have going on here, as you can see, it's totally filled up with this big box. Inside of there is a massive camera cube that takes up the whole thing, and it's purpose built for this bag. It even has an integration with this door so you can get right into it and grab whatever gear that you have right here. Let me open it up and show you the thing. We zip down the sternum like this, and all of a sudden we can open it up. Oh, look at that, wow.
You have such a big camera cube. I've never seen something so big before in my life. It's beautiful.
Okay, so in here, I kind of want to, I think I'm going to just pull this out. I've got it integrated with here with the flap, which just means that there's a couple buttons that you click, and now we can pull it out. So this is the Boundary Supply, like big camera cube. So it's like another 120 bucks, I think, on top of the bag. And like I've said before, these cubes from Boundary Supply are probably my favorite. Besides, like the Peak Designs ones are really good, which I'll show you in a bit. This is just, I love this thing. It's built to go into that bag. Now, one of the challenges is when it is inside this bag like this. So you've got that sucker, it's like you open it up, you click it open. First of all, you've got the integration, so you've got whatever you need for your quick stuff here. Then there's another thing at the top where there is a door here at the top that zips open. You can just leave that open because once you close this guy and pull it down. So you can get in and like all of a sudden you've got like some quick access to this thing right here. But then when you need to try to get into the main thing, you've got to zip this all the way down, and then you can kind of like, you can get like quite a bit of access. I mean, you can get everything, but it just feels a little weird because these guys are sort of flapping down. So it's not perfect. Again, though, with this bag, you can do so many different things, right? It's one of those just like, fuck, man. They did a good job implementing all this stuff, especially since every little nook and cranny does feel good. There might be too many nooks and crannies for me personally, but each one of them does feel good. And here's their setup. It's just got all, it's like all of these are really, really nicely padded. They feel like, it feels light, doesn't feel too heavy, but it's like, it's just really well made. I'm serious, I've looked at a lot of Kickstarter bags. I've used and played with a lot of Kickstarter bags over my days. And there's a lot of shit out there that once you get it, you're a little bit like, oh. Yeah, I mean, it works. Very few things make you feel like, oh, that's solid. Oh, I like the way that feels. Boundary Supply stuff is great for that. Also, some straps here in case you wanted to like really be cool and like carry this around with a strap. Like, hey guys, I've got everything I need right here on my cool backpack. Okay, so the Boundary Supply Prima system is the first one that's just like, you can deck the whole thing out with a camera cube. Now, check out this hip little number. $285 at the time of recording, the Vinta, okay? Now this thing is like made to look very sort of like hipster high fashion, and it works like that too. It feels like an old Louis Vuitton bag that you just wish was more comfortable. Great example of that is like, so there's these magnet clasps, which like magnets, like how do they work? But like, I don't like this in use. Oftentimes it gets in there pretty easy, but sometimes it's just been a little bit like, how do we get, like, you're trying to look for it and trying to put it in. It's like better when you don't think about it. And then this front of the bag, there's some organization here, but it's so tight. It's so hard to get into. It's just for really thin things. It's really for a field notes notebook and a pen, and then like just little tiny things. So like it's a quick access pocket with magnets that work pretty well, but I don't like that there's just like whatever's in there. If I put my glasses in there or something, it's just gonna get like, feels like it's gonna get crushed. But it keeps a very clean line on the outside of the bag. You have water bottle pockets that expand like this, that on both sides. They're not really water bottle pockets because they're not stretchy, right? You can get your water bottle in there, just barely. I wish this was like a really flexible mesh that would hold everything tight, also like very elastic. But these guys are really for, you know, gear straps and gear stuff that are like a leg of a tripod and then you wrap something around it. It's like, this is meant to be like your full on travel all over with this bag. And I just have to say that in feel, it just feels way too rigid to me. Way too like a box, like I'm carrying a shoe box. One of the things that's great about it is it's got this like performance twill that's all been coated so that you have a water resistant feel all the way across the bag. Here at the top of the bag, you have a little water sealed zipper, and they sewed it in really well so that you can actually zip these. A lot of the times these are like hard to undo. This is really easy. And inside of here, they have a little pouch that can go in there. You don't need it. I mean, you could just throw stuff in there. But like this little pouch is, you could use it for camera gear or just like, it's like, again, it's like very Louis Vuitton to me. It's very like high fashion and And it's nice. It's like very functional in that way, but actually in use, it's just like, it's way more work. And this thing feels pretty good. I'll show you their camera cube in a second, which feels pretty good, but definitely has a little bit of that like Wandrd rigidness. And the water sealed zipper on the outside of this is just like, that's overkill to me. Like it's inside the bag. I really don't need this. I want this to be easily zipped up, way easier than it is on these corners with this thing. So that goes in there. We got a little pocket up there. We can zip this down, which I'm always amazed when a water sealed zipper like this works this well. They did a great job on that. Clipping that down. Got it. Got it. Okay, so then most of the bag is accessed from the back, where you have these nice straps. They're very comfortable straps. They're thin, but they have like a real nice gel padding on the inside, right? 5'10", 190 pounds. This is the Vinta, coming in at $285 right now. Check the prices, they might change. Here on the back, another small water sealed zipper. Got some nice little mesh going on back here that feels pretty good. All right, and then laptop, 15-inch laptop right here, little pocket that whatever you put in here is kind of like, feels like it's gonna get crushed. So like flat things there. Then you have the camera cube, which comes in and out very easily. And I think on this bag, they have like a travel cube as well. So you can put travel stuff in here instead of your camera stuff. But the camera cube works pretty dang well. Now there's no way to like open this up so that when you open the back of the bag, it just stays open that I've seen. I think you could just like, you know, clip this around. You could totally do this. It just feels like kind of a bummer. I don't know. It just feels a little bit like a bummer. The truth is, it's working fine, Chase. Why are you making a thing about this? Now, this camera cube actually feels really rigid, really nice and protected. Lots of padding and lots of stuff, you know, like lots of space. You can easily fit quite a bit of stuff in here. So if you are fashion oriented and you really want something that looks slick, I've been giving this bag a hard time because I feel like it goes fashion over function a little bit. But the truth is, it does do all the things. It really does. It does do all the things. I'm not in love with getting into this, and I'm not in love with getting into this. For the most part, if you're on the run and you're shooting and stuff, you have to put the bag down and then get open into this. So, you know how you carry, you know how you like it. This thing is pretty seriously well made with some good materials, but it does feel like a Kickstarter-y bag. I don't know. It does look pretty fucking slick. So any of you with wide-brimmed felt hats, you know you might be looking for this. Got that old camera going? You might be into this. Check out the Vinta, link in the description below. I give it my seal of approval. Here's the thing, I think you get this. If you get this, you're so drawn to this look that you're gonna love carrying it around. That's good, because I think everything is satisfactory on here. It did not wow me. I immediately saw it and I was like, okay, that looks pretty rigid. And then I started feeling, I was like, yeah, it is pretty rigid. And then like I started using the cubes and I was like, yep, it's really rigid. And then I tried to get it in, it's like, yeah, the whole thing's fucking rigid. And that's just me. Your mileage may vary. Okay, now there's the Trakke Bannoch messenger bag, which is not rigid. And it does come in at a very steep price when you get it with the camera cube that's inside. I think it was like 350 pounds, 365 pounds. So, but here's the deal. We're working with like organic, grass-fed, natural materials that are hand-shucked in Scotland. It's a gorgeous feel to this bag, right? I normally put my messengers up like way up top, right? Like this, 5'10", 190 pounds, but the strap goes a lot longer. Okay, strap is solid. It's just sewed right into that sucker, right? So this is the strap you're using. I think they have a padding that you can get to go on top of this. But because it's so wide, I just really like this thing. And I like that it goes up so tight and high because that's how I really like to carry my messengers. So on the outside of the bag, you have two sort of like water bottle pockets that you just can't fit a water bottle in. This is, I want to talk to someone at Trakke about this. Come on, guys. Like we gotta make these things fucking usable, dude. This is not, like, I would be awesome to be able to put my water bottle in here, but I just can't. I mean, look at that. I'm not gonna do that every time I put my water bottle in. It can fit, but just give me a little, like, Give me a little elastic or something on one of these sides. I need you badasses to design a way that I can get in and out of this thing pretty easily. It's easier once you've done it a few times, I guess. I don't know. But you have that on both sides, okay? Then you've got these metal clips that are gonna last way longer than you will. They just go right in like this. And once you get used to them, they're pretty great because they have this like kind of vintage aesthetic. This is what's on my fanny pack, so I've been using it like every day, a few times a day. Then you open this guy up. All right. First of all, like hunting orange. This is like the pedigree of this company. A lot of that I don't know, Scottish, English. Gotten hunting for some boxes, are we? So you've got that nice orange, which makes inside easy to see. Before I get into the camera cube, you got a flap right here, and then some. This is just a perfect place for your papers, your business papers, man. So just a big thing back there. Open this up. You got two guys right here, which have dimension, which is great. Right? This is the kind of thing that Vinta just didn't have. You can, even though it's still slimline, I can still fit stuff in there. I can get my hand in there easily, like those pockets. Then you can see this guy. I've got the camera cube closed up right now, okay? It has just a Velcro cover that you can, or, you know, cover or not, depending on how you want, because you can also carry it just with putting this thing back here. And now you've got, it's all black in there. But I just have three simple organizer guys right there. It's long and it goes down deep. So throwing in one of my little mirrorless guys, it just is kind of like lost down in there. But what's great is I would just need that really on one side and then a handful of other things. But this is really a bag for some serious photography stuff. It is fancy and it is heritage and it has like a beautiful quality to it. This camera cube comes right out, all right? And so you can carry it separate if you want, you know, if you just want a big old bright yellow bag, but that's what the camera cube is. You have a pocket right here on the front, a little pouch on the outside, but everything inside is just Velcroable, and I don't think you can see that at all, can you? Just got some little simple separators. Then here inside this bag, on the front cover, there's a little quick access pocket. Gives you a lot of space inside of here. You got a laptop compartment right here in the back with, you see this organization on the front? There's just some pouches and some things for your tech doodads. 2 layers of it. Now, I really like this company. I like who the people are that makes the things. I like their aesthetic. I really like designers that have a point of view. Do you know what I mean? And these guys really have a point of view and a place of reference. They have this, like, they're really going for this heritage sort of vibe. And so I think it's very interesting. It's the kind of bag that you're gonna pay 365 pounds for with the camera cube. But you're probably gonna have it for a solid lifetime. Check out the link in the description below on the Trakke Bannoch camera bag. Okay, check out this one from Chrome. This is a very interesting bag. It's their Niko f-stop camera backpack. Comes in at 200 bucks. The whole thing is a packing cube. All right, you've got a few accessory straps on the outside. Like this is for, I don't know, what you going boarding, bro? And for some reason, one of these straps completely covers over a pocket in the front. I don't know why. I don't know why we did that, Chrome. Maybe it's a feature. Maybe it's not a bug. Maybe it's a feature. Okay, so like looking around this bag, again, let me just show it to you on. Anybody can guess my height and weight? 5'10", 190 pounds. That's right. So at 200 bucks, I gotta say, this thing feels really like nicely constructed at 200 bucks. If you need a backpack that is like my laptop and all my camera gear, and I don't have like an insane amount of camera gear. I've seen some of these guys that have the like full roll cases and stuff like that. But if you have, if you have this much camera gear and you need a laptop and you're going to shoot weddings and stuff like that, this thing's pretty dope. Okay, like I said, there was that hidden pocket out here that's like impossible to get to. Then there's another pocket up here, which is very flat, and it has on the top of the bag, it's totally sealed inside with this tarpaulin fabric. Same things on the outside of the Wandrd. So it feels like really rigid. You've got the top access to just a part of the bag, and this actually isn't adjustable. This is all sort of sewn in. Great size pocket. This is an awesome pocket. Might be where you put your camera, honestly. To just throw your camera in here and be able to get it accessible easy. On the top flap here, you've got a little bit of a pocket so you could throw your SD cards or whatever you want in there. On one side, you do have a like water bottle-like pocket, but there's no elastic. It does get you there. You've got this guy, which these guys cannot come off. They're sewn in, unfortunately. So this guy's really, I think, made for a tripod. The straps all feel solid and robust. They feel really good. They've got the cutest little, oh my God, the cutest little sternum strap with the seatbelt thing. Oh my God, look at that, amigo. That is so fucking cute. I do love that thing. I've always loved that about chrome bags, that seatbelt thing. Then you access the main compartment of the bag through here. Now what's interesting is they made it so it's actually quite easy. Like, you know, a lot of bags where you access, you're gonna see a few in a bit, where you access through this back strap thing, you really gotta pull these things back. They made this door a lot smaller and these straps floppy enough so it's easier to get into. Okay, so first of all, just on that flap, we've got some nice organization, little guys, medium guys, right? Nice. Put your SD cards there. And then inside here, that's just like, it's just a gentle sort of padded, you know, sort of organization thing. And I don't have it set up for anything in particular. It's just sort of how it came. The feeling on it is solid. I do wish there were more of these little guys. I don't know how many of these it comes with. I would definitely need more for this amount of space. And you can kind of see how like you can't quite get in, like you can down here, but like you're gonna have to reach a little there. You're also gonna have to reach a little up here. Remember that top part is really that big pocket, but there still is a little bit above these and on the sides, like actually all around. So you don't get to clear access to everything, but you want to put all your stuff that you're going to need more often in the middle anyways. And then finally, where you put your laptops, right here on the front of this guy, it's just a long vertical zipper, nice padded. So your laptop's way on the back of you, way out there, but it is padded. It's got padding all around it. It's pulled off slightly off the bottom of the bag. It's a nice, your laptop's gonna feel safe. Solid showing. The whole thing, the feel of the whole thing is nice and like, I don't know, it has a good look. Even though it has rigidity to it, it still feels and looks like a bag. Great job, Chrome. $200. This thing's really solid. Okay, now let's get into the camera and travel bags. I can't believe you're still watching. This is amazing. I mean, your stamina is unbelievable. Okay, so with these bags, I think we need it to be a carry-on size. All right, we need obviously a camera cube in there. That means our gear is protected. So most of these have like functionality that you can get multiple camera cubes. You can do a large one or a small one or a medium or 2 small ones or something like that. And then hopefully some room for your travel gear, right? I think there's a lot of people out there that I've heard of who travel very minimally but bring a good amount of camera gear. So these are the bags for you where you can fit clothes stuff in and your camera gear. And then finally, I want it to be comfortable. Right? If I'm traveling, especially if I'm doing some adventure stuff, like I need this thing to be fairly comfortable. So let's start with numero uno. Okay, I'm gonna start here with the Peak Designs travel bag because this could be a fully packed out camera rig, which I'm actively setting it up for. You can see I'm like working through creating, we're about to leave for 3 months. And I need my whole studio for multiple guests in the studio podcasting, as well as all of our video stuff, as well as my wife's podcasting stuff. I need all of that stuff to come with me. So I'm putting together like a mobile unit. This is not how it's gonna be. I just wanted to show you their packing cube. So this is, I believe, a medium size or maybe a large size camera cube for them. They also have a smaller size that fits in here. I don't know if they have a single camera cube that fills up this whole space or if you have to do multiple ones, but check that out. But what's great about having the Peak stuff is like, here's a packing cube that fits perfectly, a small packing cube, and then I might be able to fit my like tech pouch inside there as well. All of this is from Peak. So this thing is incredible at being able to, you know, organize however you want to do it. Now, this camera cube is also just one of my favorites. The separators don't take up a lot of space, but they still feel rigid and nice. It feels like a good mix of the both of like it doesn't take up a lot of space, but it still has padding. And the outside of this camera cube is just second to none. It just feels awesome. Now I've pinched the, I don't know if you can see this, but I've clipped in the camera cube with these clips, which can be a little hassle to do, but they're surprisingly, you know, they work pretty well. Okay, so here is the packing cube as it is. It's like, again, I think it's their large one or medium one. You'll be able to tell by the size. All of the dividers come all the way up to the top, so stuff doesn't fall out when you tip it upside down, which is nice. You do have on both sides here and here, you have these doors, these flaps that open like that. Now what that is for is that on both sides of the bag, and I don't have it clipped in right now, I just unclipped it. On both sides of the bag, you have these zippers that do this thing, right? So you can get in, side access the bag, and now you're looking right at that camera thing. So you can choose to sort of flop it open if you want. If you do that, you cannot use those clip things because the clip things are in the way of doing that. And obviously you wouldn't want to put any of your Velcro things on that door. So for those of you who would like need to like be able to get in and access the thing, I think you're really gonna be opening this up and then opening this guy up wherever the zipper is there. So it's gonna be like a little bit more work getting into it than the battery supply. I just, after fiddling with it for a while, I couldn't find a way to make it do that like just one opens the whole thing. What's great about this bag is the whole fucking thing is a padded packing cube, and then you've got a padded packing cube inside of it. And you've got this whole robust like packing strap system here where you've got these side guys, these hip straps that just fold out, and they have some pockets on the outside. And you have all this beautiful organization and stuff like that in here where you've got like a padded, pouches up here and in there. And you can remove this thing completely so your camera cubes are just right there. And you can access your camera cubes from the top or the bottom, depending on how you want to do it. You've got quick access pocket. You've got some storage thing up in here for straps in case you wanted to strap on your strap-ons. You've also got 2 huge water bottle pockets on either side, which work awesome, especially if you're carrying a tripod. You need to put one of the legs in there and then grab one of those straps and go around it. You can also have straps coming down off the bottom. You've got handles on all the sides. I did a huge review on this thing. Check out the link in the description below for my big review on the Peak Designs travel bag. The thing is this is probably my favorite as a full camera bag thing. If you need like a bunch of camera bag shit, I don't think you can do better than this. I think it looks kind of slick. It's very, very functional. You've got all the organization. You can fit shit tons of camera gear. As well as a travel bag where you're doing, like they have a smaller cube. Like for me, I would definitely have a smaller cube than this. And then I could fit like enough packing cubes and I'd be good to go. So this bag is solid for your camera plus travel bag or your full-on camera bag. By the way, laptop goes right into here. Okay, let's keep it going. This is the Pacsafe Venturesafe X40. Pacsafe has all of these like anti-theft features on their bag. I did a full review on this bag to show you through those things. You can look at the link in the description below at this time code. Okay, outside the bag, nice water bottle pocket, nice strap system. It's definitely got some like rigid poles, what's like some support poles that helps keep the frame of the bag rigid. You've got these hip straps that do not come off. They're like sewn in. 5'10", 190 pounds. The bag's really comfortable to travel with and pack around. It's got nice straps. Pacsafe makes a weirdly really good bags. They just seem like one of those companies that would be all gimmicky, but they have solid designers that are making very interesting stuff. Kind of boomery, sort of like untrendy in its execution, but the features actually work really well. You got a front organization panel here, right, where you can put some stuff, and this goes all the way down. You do have a bunch of these straps on the outside, which can be I just think it's strap overkill. But if you need to strap a jacket or your tripod on, it's gonna be coming in handy. Then you can access the main compartment through this back zipper here, okay? And it gives you a guy like this. You've got your laptop compartment, which is just a flap right here that goes down behind that organizational thing. And it does not have very much padding on the bottom, so you'd probably wanna put your laptop in a protective case of some kind, but it would need to be pretty minimal of a case, right? So it needs to be minimal. Then you can see this packing cube right here. I'm just showing you, you have enough space. This is their like medium-sized packing cube. They have a smaller one as well. You could fit like, you know, minimal clothes right here, right? Just a little bit of clothes, and then you cinch that sucker down and you've got all your camera gear and a little bit of clothes. Because the main camera gear is definitely accessed through here. Here's another example of those straps that are like, these kind of need to be pulled back like this just to get in. So you're flipping the bag over, pulling the straps over, then zipping it down. And then here's their camera cube. A really, really nicely made camera cube. Very protective, very cushy. Like everything in this thing feels very cushy and velour and soft. So this camera cube doesn't like Velcro in really or anything like that. It just is like this. It's just, and I literally just opened it up. It's their Pacsafe medium. This bag right now is like 250 bucks, and then this thing's another 70 bucks. So we're talking about, you know, getting a little up there into the 300 something price range. And then you've got some nice little pockets right here, like Velcro SD card type things, and you know, little organization pockets. Thing works pretty damn good as a camera bag, to be honest, because it has these very comfortable straps. Like it'll be more comfortable than the Peak design, but you won't be able to fit as much stuff, right? These are the payoffs. So check out the link in the description for more info on this one. I did a whole review on it. I think it does a pretty good job. Definitely not my favorite look, you know, but if you're like just serious adventure person, you might be stoked about this. Okay guys, we're down to the final bag. This is another one from F-Stop. It is their Ajna bag, all right? And it comes in at around 260 bucks. And then I've got a small ICU, they're like internal camera unit. I don't know. It's another 75 bucks or something in here. It can fit a big one. It can fit multiple small ones. This is great for travel right now because you can see roughly the camera cube comes in here, and then the rest of this is just space. So look at that. I mean, this thing's huge. This thing's got these huge straps, these sewn in hip straps, okay? I like that the hip straps do the thing where you pull forward to cinch them up, which is like, that's what the pros do, you guys. The bag can feel very comfortable. It's not as plush as the Pacsafe. Definitely has a more thin, rigid, professional pro sort of vibe to it, but it feels nice and comfortable. Look at this. When I take off the straps completely, it still sits up. That's how you know a hip strap is doing what it needs to do. It's doing that because there's a rigid frame in there, guys. Can you feel my rigidity? I'm getting stiff. Look at that. Look at that wiggle. Damn, girl. Okay, so like the other bags, we access that internally, like the camera stuff through here, but we'll show you that here in just a bit. You've got on both sides, long zipper and just pockets, just like a big pocket that actually has this like Velcro bit so it can expand out in this funky sort of way. Let me undo this compression strap. So you can go really wide on this bag. You see that? You see how that's like just adding bulk down in here? This is great for like camping, mountaineering stuff where you don't need to worry about carry-on. The same exact thing on this side. Boom, undo that compression strap, unvelcro the thing, expansion. So like your jacket easily can fit inside of here. Here's that jacket I was wearing earlier, and it's like just a puffy that doesn't really fold down into like too minimally, but I should be able to fit that, just shove it in here. Let's see. Look at that. That thing is just in there. Blood damn. And so you could see the size of it, just a big old tenderloin going all the way through that sucker. That ends up being like quite a bit of space on the outside of the bag. And then when you don't need it, you just close up this little Velcro guy, bring the compression strap in, and bada boom, it's like, it's gone. I mean, the bag's still massive. Okay, so you have that on both sides. Then you've got these compression straps on the front for, I don't know, putting a board on there or something. You've got a zipper that goes vertically down the outside with a water seal. And this gets you into a pocket that has no internal organization, but it is just a big old, it has dimension built in. This thing could fit like shoes easily. Goes way down and way up. This thing's a big ass pocket just on the outside of the bag. Perfect place for throwing some, I mean, this thing is really like an adventure bag. Like this thing, like you could like camp stove or like little like hideaway, like, I don't know. What do you sleep on when you're camping? That thing, that can go right there, right? Then you have a big pocket on the top. I love these size pockets. You got this like medium size, great pocket for throwing all sorts of things. There's my Bluetooth headphones just sitting in there. Bluetooth headphone Deathmatch. Check out the video if you haven't seen it yet. Okay, you got a little key thing in here and a mesh divider just to separate some stuff. This thing's very outdoorsy. Just like proving that outdoorsiness, you've got these like walking stick or pole sort of clips right here. So you can clip those in. They can hold on to down here, and you could just like have your walking clips, just your walking sticks are there. I personally am not much for the walking stick. That's just me though. Then you have, by the way, you can see here there's a little H2O flap. Down in here somewhere, you're gonna have a way to put a water bladder. Here is our zipper to our main compartment. Underneath this nice big rain gusset, right? So you can open that up, and then it's like, it's like a whale shark just gulping up the plankton. Okay, inside of here, we got a nice little organizer mesh thing. Just simple, keeping stuff out of the way. Here again, you have your laptop compartment right on top of your camera cube. It is just thin and no padding all around it. So you're gonna wanna put it in some sort of protective thing. Okay, so that's accessing the top of the bag. And just to show you, like here's my big Peak Designs packing cube, just fits in there perfectly, right? That's on top of this medium packing cube you're gonna see here in a little bit. I mean, it's medium size to me. They call it their small size. It's like a good size. So I could easily fit this and my other packing cube right on top of that. I could fit another one of those if I wanted to as well, but let's zip that up. And I can show you the back. Let's get into that back, bro. Move these straps aside, which you'll always have to do. Zip that number 10 YKK zipper, which is nice. Here's some pockets in here, just to show you first. Okay, just a little guy here. You've got some MOLLE strapping in case you wanted to put on an accessory. And then there's our camera cube. Cute little guy. Just these camera cubes from f-stop feel great. They're very lightweight, but they still have a ton of airy, foamy padding in them and a nice soft Velcro, you know, hook and loop kind of thing on the actual, you know, that you feel. And it just slides right in like that, okay? So this is their Small Pro. On their website, you can see which one of their guys fits into which one of their bags. Oh, and it looks like there is a clip here that I didn't have originally. You see that orange clip? You see that? That is for hooking in a camera cube. You can see you've got these guys on either side. So it just Velcros through and does that. And then there's my packing cube. So this one by far feels like the most spacious. I think you pack this thing out and you're not gonna be able to carry it on some international flights because it's a little probably too big. But for those of you who need like a seriously heavy duty backpack, this is very light. The material's very water resistant. It's got a crazy like future, just like the Dalton. The fabric is this crazy like futuristic fabric. It's like an Oxford weave ripstop nylon and Advanta, a thermoplastic polyurethane foam. I'm assuming that means the foam here on the back and under the straps and padding and stuff like that. This nylon feels really great and it's totally water resistant. It's thin and light, but still feels like it's not nearly as padded and protected as the Peak stuff all around. And that's why you go with one of their, you know, lovely little guys here. Very impressed with the f-stop stuff. Very impressed. I think it's really well made. Got this nice skid plate down here at the bottom. It's really thick. There is a zipper down here, which opens up and gets you just another pocket with that huge rigid top there. A very capable bag, this. Very capable for your travel and I just worry about making sure that it fits as a carry-on in the airlines you're using. Okay, that's it. All my bags, all my energy. Hopefully this was helpful for you. I'm trying to do reviews so that you don't waste your money buying shit that you don't like, right? I love doing this kind of stuff and being able to get my hands on bags and seeing what's what about them. I am not a full-on photographer, so please forgive me if I didn't cover anything that was important or essential for you. Put a question in the comments below and I'll do my best to answer them. I have been Chase Wardman Reeves. Please follow along because we're getting into more and more crazy shit like clothing for men. How crazy is that? Best clothing for travel, best shoes for travel, and for style. Because to be honest, I'm living like as a traveler full time right now. So you gotta have what you need when you need it. I've been Chase Warden Reeves. Thank you for watching. Please click the link in the description. If you want to check out more camera stuff, if this is in like this is probably like old video by the time you're watching it. But most of you will watch this by the time this video is old. So make sure you check the link for the updated photography stuff that I'll keep updated on my website. Talk to you guys better. Love you. I'm so tired. Bye-bye.
Bagworks.co, chasereeves.net. Those are the websites.
I guess those are the websites.
Yeah, I
he's
guess
wanting
so.
us to, I guess, go check out what he's up to or something like that.
Yeah, looks nice.